Hello, students. I hope you are doing good. Let's wait for a few minutes before getting started. Uh, yeah. Good evening, everyone. I'm doing good, Hariharan. I hope you are also doing good. Hmm. Today we have something uh, special. Sir, are you in? Yeah. Yes, Nilanjan. Actually, I'm traveling to Hyderabad. Uh, I'm traveling to Hyderabad. Therefore, I came to my in-laws' house. So I live in a very small town, and to travel anywhere, I just first have to come to my in-laws' house, and then from here I take a flight to wherever I want to go. So yeah, yeah, we are able to see you in different. Yeah, that is true, Hariharan. Mm. You will see me in Hyderabad, in my Hyderabad house. You will see me. Let me close this. I live in. Oh, Ekta lives in Hyderabad. That's great. Uh, so one question in MongoDB, we save data in document format. So if we want to save videos, photos, or live stream, which kind of DB we use? Okay, so Sakib, Sakib, what we do is we have a different we have a different service called as uh, CDN. There's a content delivery network which saves all these files, the CDN networks, which give you a storage online. And then what happens is your videos or files are saved on top of these CDN networks. And then the link to these files are saved in your DynamoDB. Uh, second, second, Dynamo, sorry, MongoDB, MongoDB. So you can think of it like YouTube. In YouTube, it gives you link URLs to the videos, and then videos are saved somewhere else, and then the DB only saves the URL to the video. Something similar happens with CDN. CDN. Okay. There are a bunch of CDN services. Even Amazon provides it. I don't know the name of CDN that Amazon provides. Let me give you the name of CDN by AWS. S3 is the name of CDN. S3. Yeah. Uh, what if we make upload? What if we want to upload videos in MongoDB? You cannot upload videos in MongoDB. It's a document database, Deepak. You can only save the URL of the video in the MongoDB. Okay. I also do other jobs. I work for Talent Sprint as an instructor. Yeah. I've seen in MySQL that data is stored in sometimes dot .gzz in as also there. Yeah. So exactly. So what you do is save the data in CDN, and I'll tell you why you save data in CDN. Since this topic has come up, uh, why is it called as content delivery network? So basically, what happens is uh, this content delivery network, or S3 bucket, which is called as S3 bucket, uh, they have data centers all over the world. So now what happens is if somebody is living in India and they are trying to access your data, The link to CDN will not go to US. It will not fetch data from US. A CDN will be sitting in India itself. Although DB can be, Dynamo DB might be in US, but or maybe in some remote location in India. But the server for CDN will be very close to Delhi or very close to Bombay. So CDN networks are very close by, nearby to the location that you have, where people are calling it. Okay, so that's another benefit of having CDN. The latency is reduced because CDN networks are spread all over the world. So when you save data on S3 and you decide to spread it across the world, anyone can get it very easily. Okay, Sakib, Sakib, is that make sense? Does that make sense? This is another benefit of. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Sakib. What CDN does? Do we keep replica? Yeah, replica on CDN. So we keep replicas, and CDN saves other types of data. Larger files you save on CDN, Ankit. For example, videos and photos, all these kind of files you save on CDN because you don't want to save them on your DB. Okay. You save your files on S3 bucket. S3 is one kind of CDN. And what happens is in S3 is all over the world, they have their data centers. And even in nearby positions, I mean, S3 data centers will be present multiple places in India itself. So when somebody from Delhi is trying to access a video, they can access a video from maybe, how about live stream? Live stream happens using another uh, uh, happens using similar databases. Live stream happens similar databases. First, the data goes to multiple CDNs, and from multiple CDNs, they go into whosoever is calling them. Okay, yeah. So, uh, in some cases, we store videos in server itself. Yeah, I mean you can store it, but then the idea is you will have a basic storage on server, but it won't be like you will have to serve from one server itself. You cannot serve it from multiple places. But with CDN, since it is spread out all over the world, the video gets served very easily. Deepak, you save the video on your server, and then you can have the link to the location in your DB. There are some sorts of pipeline used for live streaming. Uh, I'm not aware of that, Ekta. I'm not aware of the exact way that live streaming works. I'm aware of uh, how the network connection happens, which is using this, uh, which is using this. I discussed that before. Uh, there was a there's a protocol that is used for live streaming. Do you know about CI/CD? Yeah, continuous integration and continuous development pipelines, Deepak. They are basically for suppose you want to do some checks before your code goes online, so you can perform those checks by using CI/CD or pipelines. Okay, and they have I mean, once you upload that code, once you make a commit on your code, the CI/CD takes care of rest of the things. That's the reason why CI/CD is used. But who made CI/CD? I'm not sure. I'm not sure who made CI/CD. Do you know that, Deepak? Just an add on to Sakib's question. So, is it possible that every live video gets recorded automatically? Uh, does, is it possible that every live video gets recorded automatically? Oh, I don't get that question, Deepanshu. Is it possible that every live video gets recorded? So actually, you will send packets of the data. Now, it will get recorded on the server that is using it, and then you will send a small packet. So there is a connection that happens, Dipanshu, basically between There's a kind of connection. I'm forgetting its name. I think it's uh, what is it called? HTTPS stream. I think streaming connection is there. I'm forgetting. No, it may not be. It may not be the. You may not have to record it because you just send the small packets and you don't care about recording it. Okay. So if there is one person here and one person here, they can have a connection and they can just exchange the packets and they can decide how many packets they will. Yeah, yeah, that is true, Ankit. Streaming file can be difficult sometimes, but the basic idea is you don't have to record everything, Dipanshu. The idea is you can just send smaller packets of video as long as the stream is not broken, and the video will keep on updating. So have you noticed that? Uh, Yeah, yes, you can collect the packets if you want. Have you noticed that on a call, you're having a call on WhatsApp, suppose, and there is bad internet connection. So after few seconds, so there was the video gets frozen for some time, and then it gets delayed by some seconds, and then the video gets played after some seconds. So uh, the video gets yeah, reconnecting, not just reconnecting, but the video might get played at a speed which is like yeah, which is a little faster than the usual speed. Yeah, 1.5x speed. So in that case, multiple packets have come together, and the video is trying to show it to you. And then just like in live classes getting recorded, is it recording in packets? Yeah, it is recording in packets. Yes, streaming does not store anywhere. So streaming does not store. You can store it if you want. For example, on Zoom, you have recordings that get stored, but it's not a necessary. It may get stored. It may not get stored, Ankit. It's up to the designer. So today we are going to learn. Today we are going to learn few concepts. Last class was not enough to cover the intro to MongoDB, and I think some of you were not happy. I don't know. I don't get to know the feedback, so I don't know. But I felt that I can do more justice by having one more class on intro to MongoDB. And in this class, I will specifically uh, discuss. I'll specifically discuss. First of all, I'm going to discuss database operations. Basically, I'm going to discuss bunch of operations. So operations. Second, I'm going to do collection operations. These are smaller topics, just few lines of code. Okay. Other than that, I'm also going to discuss CRUD operations: create, read, update, and delete on documents. CRUD operations on documents. We are going to discuss this. We are going to have a discussion about object ID function, object ID function, and we'll discuss about find queries and different types of queries, and we'll also do some GeoJSON kind of stuff. We'll discuss about GeoJSON. Okay, this is the agenda for today. Let's see how much we can complete. And my goal with today's class is kind of, there are two goals, two broader goals with today's class. First goal is, of course, to teach you about MongoDB, but the second more important goal is to help you understand how to read to help you understand how to read documentations, because most of the things I'm going to discuss today can be discussed from can be learned from the documentation. So it's nothing new that I'm teaching you. We can learn all this from the documentation. First of all, uh, a MongoDB Compass. I'm going to open MongoDB Compass app, and then I'll start sharing my screen. You can also open MongoDB Compass on your computers, and once you have opened it, you can work with me work along with me. Okay. So here is MongoDB Compass. and I'll connect. So how to get comfortable with documentation reading habit? So Avijit, that's a good question actually. So sometimes what you can do is you can have kind of a resource apart from the documentation. For example, you can have a book, or maybe now you don't need a book also. Now you can have something like chat gpt with you, and then you can work out documentation and chat gpt together. So I'll tell you how it can be done. Just give me one second. uh, I'll share my whole screen and I'll teach you how you can read documentation easily, or not just documentation, but anything that is any difficult document that you are trying to read. So here is what you can do. Let me open a new window, and in this window, I'm going to open. The way ChatGPT works is it can interpret uh, language very well. So just give me one second. I'll just go to ChatGPT. And what you can no, what is this? Uh, OpenAI, ChatGPT optimization. No, try ChatGPT. Yeah. So if you are on ChatGPT, you can work from here now. Okay, log me in again. Uh, oh, it's out. Anyways, so it should not be. I have one more access, but I'm not having access here. Let me refresh once. Yeah, now it is available. It's available now. Sometimes it takes few seconds, but that's okay. Now it's a new service, so these are the problems with a new service. Now I'm going to open. Uh, I will not be able to see chat for a few minutes. I'm sorry for that. Sir, whenever I open, it always saying certificate capacity, right? What do just refresh it, Nilanjan. You can refresh chat GPT and it will give you. So here is chat GPT along with the documentation. Let me open MongoDB uh, documentation, and you open MongoDB documentation along with chat GPT. Okay, and then what you can do is you can search like this. What are the key features of MongoDB? And search like this, and now it will give you answer about it. And then uh, while it is writing the answer, let me check if there is something on the chat. I refresh it now and now got it. Thank you, sir. Did you register, Niranjan? Yeah, he registered. Okay. So now again, I'm going to open the chat GPT. Now it is giving document oriented indexing replication. It is giving a lot of details about MongoDB. These are the features of MongoDB. But if I want to know, say, use MongoDB, uh, go to the key documentation. It has a getting started guide, and then you can have a bunch of you can talk about aggregation operation. Suppose aggregation operation is something that you want to learn more about. So you can come to a chat GPT and ask about what are the what are the aggregation operations in MongoDB. Okay, you can search here. It will give you a general guideline, and once that general guideline is with you, you can read rest of the documentation. So now you can have bunch of ideas about it. And then what you can do is you can read about aggregations now. Aggregation operation process multiple document return computed results. So you can do aggregation. It is similar to map and reduce. Okay. Again, this will come as you will read more documentations, but and then these are all the documents that you have. Now what you can do is you can ask ChatGPT to give you some examples of say project. So now you can have can you give an example of project uh, operator operation. Now it will give you an example of project operation. And while it is giving you the example, you can see how this aggregation works. Okay. Does something, filter does something, and slowly and steadily you will learn about it. Now it is doing project, uh, now project operation on aggregation pipeline, uh, title, author, and year fields from document and books. The year field also transformed using year operator uh, to exact year from the published date. Okay, so all this you can do. Uh, so all this you can learn slowly from chat gpt, but one problem with chat gpt is that of course it is not correct all the time. So for example, if it gives a wrong answer, what you can do is you can do like this. If some line is if there is a line that you are not able to understand in the documentation, what you can do is you can select that line. I hope I'm able to select it. Mm, how do I don't have a mouse right now. Somehow my mouse is not working. Yeah. So suppose I select this line, I control C here, and then you can paste this line here, and then you can say, please explain this. I can delete this much, and you can do, please ex explain this. Now you can do this, and now ChatGPT is going to read that line and explain it to you. So this is another feature. Is the video coming for everyone? Hello? Is the video coming? No? Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Sorry if it gone. Okay. So this is another key feature that you can use in chat gpt. Okay. So you can write a line from the documentation and see all the details about that line. Okay. And then you can keep on asking questions, and whenever and open the documentation along with mongo, along with chat gpt, and very soon you will get addicted to the process. So whenever a new technology will appear, you will keep these two windows open, and then you try to learn as much as possible from the two. And whenever you have a question about anything now onwards, paste the text into chat gpt and ask the question. Okay, does that make sense? Yeah. So that's how you can learn how to read documentation. Okay. So now let's go over each of those operations. Uh, I'll open MongoDB Compass, and this is our database. So I'll open first of all Mongoose. I will open Mongoose is below here. So sir, we can also get documentation on ChatGPT. Yeah, you can also get documentation. You can also get documentation in ChatGPT. I mean, it's not exactly documentation. It is very similar to documentation, Elanger. It is like any book. Even if your subject you are learning, if you are learning from a book also, you can paste a line from the book and try to understand it. Okay. So it's not documentation. It is a language, a natural language processor. It processes natural language, which is basically English. So it processes English for you. Now I'll increase the font size. Yeah. And first of all, right now I'm in test data set. I'll show you some operations on data sets. Mm, friends. Let's do a few operations on data sets, and then we'll do some operations on uh, operations, CRUD operations. We'll go to CRUD operation in a few minutes, but let me just do some operation on data sets. First operation is to show data sets. So what you can do is show and DBS. If I do this, I'll get to see all the DBs that I have. I have admin, config, CRM, DB, local, and test. All these databases are there on my MongoDB server. I can decide to use one of these DBs. So I can do use test. It will switch to already on DB test. But if I do use local, it will switch to local DB. Okay. Now I can again do switch test and it will switch to test DB. Very simple. Two operations that you definitely want to remember: show DB and test DB. Okay. Now I can also drop a database if I want. So let me create a new database, new DB. Okay. And I create a new DB and it has been, so now if I do show DBs, there is a new database also. There is that. I don't have, uh, I don't have a collection in it. So I can just do DB dot create collection. And let me name the collection as my collection. Okay. Now this collection has been created. Now if I do show DBS, it should show me the new DB as well. So new DB is also getting showed in the DBs. Now what I can do is I can just drop this database. I can just do db.drop and database. And this is going to drop the database from, uh, and now I can just do use test and I can do show uh, DBS. Now new database is not shown because it has been dropped. So three key commands I have shown you. First is uh, show DB. Second is use DB, use and the database name, and the third is drop database. These three commands I have shown you. Okay. Any doubts about any one of these three commands? And is this kind of learning good for you? Like, are you liking how I'm teaching you these three commands? Okay. So yeah, so these three commands are for database. Now I will show you some commands on. I've already shown you one command. It it will drop whichever database is currently running. So if I do drop DB right now, it will drop the test database Hariharan. So whatever database I am currently running, which is written before this greater than symbol, it will be dropped. So if I do db drop db dot drop database, this test db will be dropped now. I can show it to you. When I was dropping this, I was at new db database because uh, use I've done use new db. So I was in new db database, and then when I do drop db, the new db database was dropped. Okay. It will drop the database in which you are currently in. Yeah, in whatever DB you have switched, it will drop it. So that is those were the three operations I wanted to teach you. One more operation that I have shown you is why doing this? I'm just showing you the operations, Suraj. I'm just showing you the operations that you can perform on DBs. One is drop, one is use, and the other is show. Okay, there's no exact reason why we are doing it. We are just trying to learn these operations. Sir, can you please show create db command? Create db, there is no create. I think there is a create db command, but typically if you want to create a db, you can just create using use command. So whenever you want to create a db, you can just do use new db, and if the db is not already present, it gets created. Create collection is this one. Write the whatever DB you are in, write that name, no, write DB and create collection and the name of the collection. And whatever DB you are currently switched to, a collection will be created inside it. Okay. So I'm going to show you create collection one more time. So DB dot create collection, and let me do another. Let me name this as address collection. In test dataset, I have address collection. I'll use it later. Why is it? Let me the forms. There's some problem if I include. Sir, if we try to enter a document in a collection which does not exist, it will create the collection first. Yes, exactly, Arnab. So I can show it to you. DB dot. Let's say I'm inserting a doc. So let me show you the collections first. Uh, so if I do show collections, this is going to show me the collections in my DB. Right now there are three collections in my DB: address, order, and user. Suppose now I do DB dot guest dot insert one, and then I insert the name of the guest, and let's say guest is uh, Arnab. Now Arnab will be inserted in a new collection. Okay. And now if I do show collections, this is going to show me another collection which is at guest. Okay. It's not showing on campus. It show, I mean, what is not showing on campus, Vijit? Have you installed Mongoose on your computer? These documents on your screen, these documents on your screen. I can show you the document. I just have to do db dot guest dot find, and this will show the document with Arnav. Oh, in UI. Oh, okay. So you can have that. I can show it to you here. Uh, if I do go to say uh, my current database is test. In test database, I have guest data. If I click on this, I get to see Arnav. Okay. So if you click there, then only it shows. Otherwise, it does not show. But today I want to primarily work from the terminal, because I think many of you appreciate that more than looking at click and drag kind of functionality. Okay. Hmm. So now let's drop a collection then. How to drop collection? That's what I was talking about. So there are two ways to drop a collection. First is you can do db dot guest dot drop. If I do this, guest DB will be dropped. So now if I drop the now this has deleted the guest all the documents in the guest collection. So now if I do db dot guest dot find. So first of all, let me show you the DB. Show collections. If I show you the collection, the guest is not getting shown here because drop is removed. Uh, but if I do db dot guest dot find, it shows an empty list. If I show you here, if I show you test here, test is still have the guest collection. Is there a refresh option? Let me reduce the size of this. And yeah, if I refresh, where is the refresh button? let me go to another collection, and I'd go to this collection. The guest is still in this list. Okay, collection guest collection is still in this list. If I click on this, why is this document getting shown here? Uh, if I click on this, let me just name drop. Is there a refresh button somewhere? Databases, uh, local test, and the guest still have that. Okay, control R. Oh, let me check control R. Yeah, control R does that. Thank you. I think that is true. Mhm. Local house, three dot. No, three dots does not have. Find connect button. Oh, there's a refresh button. Okay, good. Anyways, sorry for that. Let's go back to Mongoose. Now the collection is dropped, but it is still there somewhere. I mean, it's not exactly deleted, but then there is also um no drop is this. Drop is going to drop it, and let me do one thing. db.guest dot insert. Let me increase the font size. Insert one in guest. Sorry. db dot insert one, and in this I'm going to insert name, say Avijit. Okay. Now if I do this, this gets inserted. Now I can do this db dot guest dot remove, and then I can do this. If I do this, collection is remove is deprecated. Use delete one, delete many. So remove is duplicated, but drop is there. Drop is going to delete the whole table itself. So previously, what used to happen? Remove used to delete only the collections, and drop used to also drop the database. But now remove is removed completely. So remove is no more. Either you use delete one, delete many, or delete those things. Okay. So if you want to drop a collection, you can just do. Where did it go after drop? It went away. It was not present. It was deleted. Now the previously it was like drop will not drop. Drop will drop the collect. Drop will drop the documents, and remove will drop the collection. But now everything is getting deleted by dropping. When you add something new, this command here already creates a new collection guest whenever you write this command. So yeah, therefore it is happening. Anyways, don't worry about these commands. Let me just click on clear right now. Clear is not defined. How do I remove everything? CLS. Yeah. Okay. Hmm. Thank you, Nilanjan. That's very good of you to know all these commands. Hmm. Okay, now, so we have discussed three commands. One is to have db dot create collection, and here I can create a collection, say my collection. I can create a collection using this. There's also db dot uh, new collection dot insert one. You can insert while inserting a command in while using the insert command, you can directly create a new collection. So name, and I can save Nilanjan. This is one way, and also you can do db dot drop. You can do db new collection dot drop. This is going to drop the collection. If I do show collection, it is going to show me the collections. Very basic commands, kind of intuitive, kind of easy to remember. So we have discussed two kinds of commands so far. We have discussed how to do commands case sensitive, Commands are yes, commands when so if I do like, let me check. Let me check. db dot address dot find. If I do this, there's nothing. But if I do db dot address dot find, uh, let me see. If I do db dot my address dot insert one, yeah, I'll show the second command in few. Uh, Show DBs in caps. Just give me 1 second. If I do this, I want to see if writing the name DBs in capital and small will change it. So if I do this, name and Avijit, uh, Avijit, uh, on, oh sorry, this should be inside curly braces. Yeah. So it gets inserted. If I do now DB dot address dot find. No, it is case sensitive because if I do db dot address dot find, it is going to show me this. So if you remove the cases, it is not going to work. But if I do db dot address, no, it's not working. Or show dbs, that is not going to work. Okay, so it is case sensitive. It's not similar to SQL where it case does not matter. Here case matter. Actually, uh, it is much more similar to JavaScript. So you can do well let value is equal to 5, or let value is equal to Avijit, uh, and you can have a colon after this. And then now you can do something like this: db dot address dot find, and here you can send name colon uh, dollar value. Sorry, I can say value not defined. If I do this, yeah. So you can do name is equal to value. So you can do something similar to what you do in JavaScript also. Okay. You can save the name somewhere else, and then you can find it using, uh, yeah, using the language. So just like JavaScript is not case sensitive, JavaScript is case sensitive while you write it. Mongo shell is also case sensitive. Vivek, is this making sense? You seem to be awfully quiet today. Hello, Vivek. Are you there in the class? Are you following? I think he's writing the commands, therefore he's not talking. Vivek, are you there in the class? Vivek Patil. Let me see if I saw him in the starting of the class. I think I didn't see him in the starting also. No, Vishal Singh was there. Vivek, I have not seen today. Uh, he is studying for his exam. No, he's not. Okay, no worries. Which exam? Oh, in his college exam, Ravindra. Okay, I wish him good luck. University exam. Okay, no worries. Where where the value get stored? Value get stored in the current RAM. It will. Yes, that is true, Nitish. Colic, the value get stored just like in the JavaScript. The value get stored in the RAM, while it's stored in the memory. What is it called? Heap memory. Similar to heap memory, this also have Mongoose also have a heap memory where the value get stored. It is not getting stored in the DB itself. Okay, so it is just like it is stored in the runtime. Another way of calling it would be runtime. Okay, so those were the basic commands of collection. Now let's do some commands on uh, let's do some commands on objects. But before that, what I can do is I can probably save the commands in a file so that you can later on review them. Yeah, we will do CRUD operations on files, but I'm thinking of basically saving these commands somewhere, so that in future when you are reviewing your notes, you can go through those commands. So I'm going to open our lovely, uh, I'll open our lovely, what is it called? So first is revision on, this is the CRM app. Here we have revision on async. Now I'm going to create another file folder which is called as to intro to MongoDB and save it in VS Code and push it. Yeah, exactly. That's what VS Code was, something that was not coming on my tongue. I'm going to save the commands on VS Code. I hope you can see the window of VS Code right now. And I'm going to save it there, and then I'm going to commit it. 14th of December 2022. Okay. In this, I create a new file. I'm just going to do it uh, commands dot. I can do MD or I can do text. I'll do MD. I think MD is better. Markdown is better than text. Uh, and let me do commands to be commands and operations on MongoDB. First, I'll just create outline. In the outline, I'll have one topic, which is uh, database operations. Second, I have collections operations. Third, I have third operations on uh, documents. Fourth, I have, let me see, what else do I have? Okay, I cannot see that. I'll have to go back. Just give me 1 second. CRUD operations. Then I'm going to talk about object ID. So I'll have uh, ID slash object ID. This is one more. And then we'll have query and injection operations. These are a bunch of operations that we'll talk about. There will also be geolocation, but not geolocation. It will be GeoJSON. We'll also talk about GeoJSON. Let's do this. Let me come here and write database operations. First operation that I used was uh, show DBS. This is going to show the DBs. Hmm. Operation the above operation will show all the databases on our MongoDB server. First is this. Then you have use DB, use, and then you can have DB name, whatever is the name of the DB or what. This will switch to the DB you have to the uh, DB whose name you have used. And then if the DB is not present, if the DB is not present, this operation will create a new DB with the given name. Okay. Then after use DB, we also have switch. No. Once we are in a DB, we can have we are inside a DB, which is typically the case. We can do DB dot uh, drop database. This operation was there. Drop database, and this is going to this operation is going to drop the current DB. These are the three database operations that I want you to know. Then I was talking about collection operations. There are a few collection operations. First is create collection. So for that, I can do either db dot create uh, collection, and then I can do my collection, or I can do uh, uh, collection name. Whatever name of the collection you will give, it will create that collection. Okay. So this operation will create a collection with the given name. Okay. Now what else you can do is you can do db dot my collection dot insert one, and then you can insert something. Maybe you can insert name, and then you can insert a name, say Radhya. Okay. Now here what is happening? This operation will insert a new document in the collection, my collection, uh, and this is very important. If the if this collection is not present in the DB, MongoDB will create a fresh collection with this name. Okay, this is how you can create a collection. And last thing we have is a drop collection. You can have show collection. This is something I'm not going to write. This will uh, list all collections in the DB. And then last we have is db dot my collection drop. It is like delete. We don't usually call when we are talking about anything other than drop database is similar to delete, but it will delete the whole database. Sir, can we do these other than in Mongo shell? Uh, yes, you can do it elsewhere also. When you have a Mongoose command installed, Mongo command installed, you can do it on the PowerShell itself. So some people can do these operations on PowerShell. Okay. And the reason why I'm teaching you these operations is that in tomorrow you will be using similar operations from your code. When you learn about Mongoose, you will do similar operations from code itself. Okay. So therefore these operations are important. Anyways, these are collection operations. Now we will discuss the third type of. Sir, if we run the drop division command at work, then will we also get dropped from the job? That is true. I mean, it can, yeah, certainly you will be dropped from the job. In today's market, it is very much possible. uh, but as long as you can do this kind of things. Uh, Replicate property shall help, but you can do this in the notice period, I guess, because if you are in the notice period or you are fired from the job, then before leaving the job, you can just drop the database from the production. Yeah, it will have repercussions. Maybe in future you will not be able to give reference from that company, but anyways, you can have your revenge. Okay, good. Should I start CRUD operations right now, or should I take a short break and then come back? And is it okay if I take a short break right now? I need to go. I need to. Not now. Nilanjan, is it after some time? I need a break, Nilanjan, if it's okay. Uh, is there a Nilanjan? Is there a problem on your end? Uh, you can try out these. Try out these. Oh, you have dinner time. When is your dinner starting, Nilanjan? It is 9 o'clock. Okay, 9:15. Okay, okay. I'll stop the class. I'll have 9:15 then. I'll not take a break right now, Nilanjan. That's completely fine. No worries. Okay, sure. I was thinking there might be a problem. So no worries. We'll take a short break at 9:15. Maybe at 9:10 if that's okay. But yeah. Okay, sir. Okay, sure. Uh, let's do some CRUD operations. The first operation is of course insert. So we can do db.user. User is a table. Let me see. Let me just do it from here. Show collections. No, show collections. User is a table. So first I'll see what is present in the user. So I'll do db.user dot find, and I'll send an empty list. I don't have to send empty list. I can just do this. So there were some users I have inserted before, and Nilanjan was there, Avijit was there, Anshul was there, and Avijit was there twice. Avijit, there are two copies of Avijit in the database. Anyways, so this is all possible in, as long as the ID is unique, all this is possible inside MongoDB. Now what we can do is we can insert another person in this DB. So we can do, I have already discussed this, DB user dot insert one, and then you can do, maybe I can insert in London now. So I can do name, uh, Nilanjan, and then comma age. I can do age like this or also like this. This is also okay. You don't have to write quotation. And what is your age, Nilanjan? Can you tell us? I don't want to have wrong database. Would you mind telling us your age? 30. Okay. Video is paused? No, video is working. I think video is working. Suraj, can somebody? Video is okay. Uh, okay, I'll save Nilanjan's age. And if I enter, then Nilanjan is also inserted. Okay. But you cannot do something like this. You can have the value as without this. But if you do something like this, I think this will cause an error. Let me run. This is cause Nilanjan is not defined, so this will cause an error. But you can have the key as a string, and value will always key you can write without braces, but yeah, key can be written without braces, but value cannot be written without braces. Anyways, you can also insert Gauri. Uh, And I'll not ask Gauri's age. I'll just make it 18. Okay. Uh, if that's okay. So now we have bunch of insert one operations, but now we can also have insert multiple values in one go, and that's also cool. We can have db dot my collection dot insert many. This is another one we can use. In this, you can have in this you need to send an array of values. Okay, and this array, sorry, in this array, we can have multiple people. So one person I will do. Acid can be done. Yeah, Avijit, acid can be done using transactions. There is something called as uh, yeah, ID is auto generated, Hariharan. But Avijit, your question is correct. You can do acid operations uh, in MongoDB using transactions. There is something called as transactions. You can read about it more. But there's something called as transaction. You can lock the database for a given transaction. Okay. So these are over the top properties applied. So sometimes you want asset property, so you can use transactions for that. But it is not a usual scenario. But of course, so in if you can do something without asset property, you can of course do asset properties. But if you cannot do away with asset properties, then so for example in MySQL you cannot do anything other than asset properties. You always have asset properties. In MongoDB, that's okay. You can have or not have. Both possibilities are there with you. Okay. So now I'm going to save name as Avijit. Avijit, you are going into the database thrice, so I'll just save Hariharan. Hariharan, and I'll just save age, and I'll save 22, and I'll have another person. Say I've saved Gauri, I've saved Nilanjan. Let me see. Nitish. Nitish is not saved, so I'll say name colon Nitish and age. Nitish, can you tell us your age? 21. Okay, so I'll insert these many data points uh, into our database. And now two things got inserted into my database. So I've discussed two types of insert. One is insert one. There is also insert many. There is also one more which is called as db.mycollection my collection dot insert. So the insert. Insert is not present. Okay, it's either insert many or insert one. Let me check if its insert is also there. db.mycollection collection dot insert. Insert is deprecated. Either you do insert one or insert many or bulk, right? So insert is deprecated. Before that, there was also insert, which can do job of both of them. If you send only one value, it will insert one. If you send multiple values or an array, it will insert many values. So that's what the use of insert was, but now it is not there. So now I can do db.mycollection.find, and it will show all the values I've inserted so far. So it has Hariharan and Nitish, which are the values I've inserted. Other values I've inserted in the user. So maybe I can insert Hariharan and Nitish again in user. So I can just come here and let me try to do one thing that I don't know if I can do it or not, but db.user.insert many, and then I can do db.mycollection collection dot find. Let me see if I can do this. This is something I've never done before. Collection find. User is the data is 1 db. Sorry, user is one collection, and I'm taking all the values from my collection and putting them into user. Do you understand what I'm doing here? So if I do this, I'll get the list of all the collections from my collection. And what I want to do is I want to insert these values into user table, user collection. Okay. Insert many and insert many. And I want to insert all these values in user. So if I do this, argument docs must be an array of documents. So maybe I can do this. Let me see. Maximum call stack reached. Okay. Let array is equal to db dot my collection dot find dot uh, explain for each limit each has next map body property size. There's also two array. Yeah. If I do this, and if I do array, what happens? I get the array. Now I can do this. I can go out and insert money, and now I can do array. So if you forget about something, try to use your brain for, and now the two values are inserted from there. You see what I've done? And now I feel proud of myself because I figured out something without looking at documentation or anywhere else. Things work intuitively. Okay. So yeah, it is very similar to JavaScript. So I guessed I can convert it into an array and then I can insert it back. So anyways, so now if I do db.user.find, I'll get Nilanjan and Hariharan. We could have changed the two array after find. Yes, that's also possible. We can do something like this. Insert many. Uh, we can come back to this operation. I'll reset. I'll repeat that. So I could have done this also array two array array. I think two array was the right function. Yeah, two array. If I could, I cannot do this. No, I cannot do this. I cannot change the values. Anyways, so what I did was first I created an array from the results of find operation on my collection. Okay. If I look at this array, I get whatever was saved in the my collections. Now what I did was I sent this array of new users. I can do let new users is equal to array. Now my new users are saved in the array, and now I can do uh, db.user dot insert many, and I can do new users. Okay, these values are already inserted, so I can do something here. Duplicate same. So what I can do is I can remove these values. So what I can basically do is db dot user dot remove or delete many, and in this I can send a filter which is name. I can send in colon send Hariharan. One is Hariharan and second is Nitish. I'll explain this in few minutes what I'm doing here, but I'm basically deleting Nitish and Hariharan. So if I do this, delete count. Now if I again do, we can use to array in this. Yeah, exactly. To array, if we just omit the ID by using projection, that is also a possible way. But now I don't need that because I've deleted the two columns. So now what I can do is I can just go back and do this, and now the two values are inserted. Previously, the values were not inserted uh, because the ID was not matching. ID was already present, but now I can. Now I'll do what Abhinav Arnav is talking about. So Let me see how I can project. So db dot my collection dot find find all dot projection, and in this projection, uh, I need to include some things and delete some things. So let me see how to include things in projection. Uh, just give me 1 second. There is some. Uh, okay, let me do what? ID colon 0. If I do this, yeah, now IDs are removed. I'll talk about projections in more detail, but basically the idea is you can take a subset or a smaller set of list, or a smaller set of features from no a smaller set of fields from the fields in documents. So you can remove the index from the we can remove the ID from the documents and get the documents without the ID. Now what I can do is I can insert this document into my DB again. So I can have a copy of Nitish and Hariharan. So I will go back to this, and here I can just do projection, and I can decide that I'm not going to use ID for this. So I can do uh, underscore ID colon 0. This is going to remove the ID. So first, let's do it one step at a time. Just give me 1 second. So let's do it one step at a time. So first of all, we have let result is equal to db my collection dot find. And if I just do result, it is going to print these two values, but it is still in the find operator. Now what I do is result dot projection, and I say that I don't want the ID. So I do underscore ID colon 0. And this should be inside a curly bracket. This means that I don't want the ID. If I enter, uh, cursor is already initialized. Okay, I'll just do here. I'll just do projection here. Projection and curly braces underscore ID colon 0. Now this will create a cursor, and once you pass that cursor, ID will be deleted from it. So now if I do result, it is going to give me the two names without ID. You see what is happening here? Hello? Can you make some reaction? So now ID is not there in the list. So this is what projection does. The find creates a cursor, and while you are iterating over the documents, projection decides what all values from the document you are going to use. Now the next step is I can save result as result. Error was for ID or cursor? Error was for cursor. Avijit, the previous error was on the cursor, because once you call the find operator, it just passed through all the documents. There you wrote ID. Oh, is that the correct? No, no, I wrote it underscore ID. No, I've written underscore in quotes. That's okay. That's okay. Quotes is not a problem. That's not a problem. Quotes and quotes or no quotes is the same thing. So projection does not remove or give column permanent. It just gives an output excluding that. Yes, exactly, Ekta. That is correct. Projection like select clause, it is very similar to select clause. Yes or no? That is true. Aradhya didn't understand projection, and there was somebody who didn't get. Aradhya didn't understand. Okay, no worries, Aradhya. I will try to explain it. Yes, I'll give you a break in just few seconds. Just give me few seconds. Uh, uh, so Aradhya, imagine you have a you have a collection of documents, and there is a pointer that's going over each of the collection. That pointer I call cursor, and that cursor is going to check all the documents. Now I can decide what all values from the documents I am going to use. So one way of deciding that is using projection. I can say id is equal to 0, which means id I'm not interested in, or I can do otherwise also. I can do something like I can do name. I can do name as 1, and this is now only going to show me the name. So if I do result now, it's only going to show me the name. It's not going to show me the age. Okay. This is what projection does. It decides what all to include and exclude from the list of from the documents that I am addressing. Whereas what is one? One means to include and zero means to exclude. Cursor not initialized means why id like this? Id is always included. Id is usually included. That's part of the document, so it is included usually. As until you remove it, it will be there. Okay, Radhya. I'll discuss object ID towards the end of the class. What is object ID? I'll explain it later. When we do not mention projection, it is like saying select start. Exactly, Arnab. You got it exactly correct. Okay. One means to include, zero means to exclude. Okay. So those were a couple of things. Now I'll take a short break right now. And once we come back from the break, we'll discuss further. I hope you're getting the feel for MongoDB's PowerShell. Okay. I'll discuss cursor again once we come back from the break. Just remind me that, Avijit. Okay. Uh, yeah. Okay. Let's take a short break. Hello students, I hope you are back from the break. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, if you are back from the break, why don't we get started? So do replica sets in MongoDB ensure asset properties? Uh, no, I mean not replica set, but transactions in MongoDB ensure asset properties. Asset property is basically deciding that when I make a change, it is either complete or it is either totally complete or it is totally incomplete. There's no in between state, which is called as asset property. So not replica set, but uh, transactions will determine that asset properties are holding. Okay, so Abhijit is asking about cursor. So Abhijit, basically the idea is you have bunch of documents in a collection. You will have a cursor which is similar to a pointer, and this will go over each of these documents when I call the find operator. Now I can call a projection which will determine whatever is sent by this cursor, how much of it I'll use. Okay, it is like a filter. You can think of it like a filter. Okay, only a small portion of whatever is in the document will go through this filter on the other side. Okay, so the find cursor get initialized when I do find operator. Okay, when I do find, when I do say db dot user dot find, the cursor get initialized to the first document in the user collection. Yeah, I can. So now, okay, Joseph, nothing but when you, so how do you search in a, yeah, I'm going to repeat. I'm going to repeat, Joseph. How do you search in a collection? Can you think of how will you search in a collection when there is no schema there is no predefined schema that is present in the documents? How are you going to search? Suppose you have a long array and you want to search for a given number. You will do a linear search. You'll have a pointer which will go over each of the number one by one. Similarly, here you will have a cursor which will go over each of the documents. Okay, and while going over the documents, it will project something as the response. It will either take the document or remove or ignore the document, and each document will have bunch of fields. Okay, so if it is sorted, then the cursor will use a different, it will not start from the starting. It will start from wherever you are asking it to start, depending on the filter that you're applying. Okay, Ankit? So we are going to discuss indexes and then I'll talk about how indexes, in next to next class, I'm going to discuss indexes and we are going to talk about how indexes play out in MongoDB. Then I'll talk about how cursors get initialized when the DB is sorted. Today shall we do? Yeah, today we are doing CRUD. Yes, CRUD was the what I was doing, but these questions were coming, so I have to answer them in the lunch. Yeah. Okay. Does that make sense, Joseph? You have a cursor which is going over documents, and you have a projection on which, based on which you are deciding what all you are going to report out of what you are seeing. Okay. Sure. MongoDB. So those were the insert operations. Insert many and insert one. There are a few more operations. The next operation is update operation. We can change the age of a user. So what we can do is db.user.update. I can either update one or I can update many. I'll show you update one first. I want to update one, and this operator will first take a filter. So the filter I'm going to use is, the name should be uh, Hari Haran. I can send a filter, which is so. Just give me 1 second. Update one. This is what update one is. Load balance update one. Update one is a function, and no, uh, so if I do db dot user dot update one space help, what will happen? Nothing. Help. Yeah, db dot user dot update one. It can be sharded. That's not a problem. Uh, I'm not sure how to do update one help. Maybe I have to do question mark here. No. Anyways, I can just do help. This is help, and in this I can do shell help and print JSON. If I want to see show use, yeah, thank you, Satyan. That is the one which we need. Dot help. Yeah. So it has these three properties. It has filters, update, and options. Filter is what we are going to work with. What are all the values on which we want to do the update operation? When we are doing update one, we have to apply only one filter. When we are doing, and what is the update that we need to apply? So let me show you what update I wanted to do. So let me do db dot user dot find, and whatever filter I send here, that filter I can send there also. So let's have as name as Nitish. If I do this, the data point of Nitish comes up. Now I can do db.user.update1, and then I can send name as Nitish, and I can say that for Nitish, set $set. This is going to set the value of age to whatever you want. Let's say age I want to set to 25. Okay. This is going to set the age of Nitish as 25. If I do this, enter, matched, matched count is 1 and modified count is 1. So now what I can do is I can again do db dot user. I can do this, and you can see that age of Nitish is set to 25. Is this making sense? Nitish, it's your name. Is it making sense to you? This is how update one can work. Let me see my db dot user dot find operation. Nitish, are you in the class? Is it okay if I make your age as 25? Nitish, are you in the class? Hello. Okay. Are you following? I saw that you joined a few minutes late. That's okay. That's okay, Nilanjan. All here are younger to me as well, so it's completely fine. Okay, so now what I want to do is, let's say all the people whose age is less than 25, I want to save their age to 25. You get the you get what I wanted to do? Everyone whose age is less than 25, I want to, or maybe less than 20, I want to save it to 25. Or no, everyone whose age is less than 21, I'm going to make their age is 21. So you can do that like this. db.user.update many, and here is the filter. Filter is age. Hmm, age is less than. LT is for less than 21. If age is less than 21, what am I going to do? I'll do dollar set age as 21. You see what I'm doing? Can you tell me what all values will be changed in this case? Whose age will be changed? In this list, who all? Oh, mm, yeah, Nilanjan and Gauri. Nilanjan's age is saved as 20, and Gauri's age is saved as 18. Both of them will become 21. So if I just do enter, two people were found and their age was changed. Okay, Gauri is saying my age will be changed. Okay, now if I do find, you can see that Gauri and Nilanjan's age is changed. Yeah. And Nilanjan is also saying his age will be changed. Got it. So this is how you can change more than one. What is in? Okay, I can do in also. I'll discuss these list of operators. So I can do this also. Say the age is in this list. 25, 22, and 25. 22 and 25. So in is if the age is in 21, 22, and 25. If the age is any one of these lists, then I'll set it to 21. So if I do this, four matched and their age was set to 21. Two of them age was already 21. Two of them their age was 22 and 25. So just like in SQL, we can use in here also. So now if I do this, Hariharan, Gauri, Hariharan and Nitish, their age is also set to 21. And Gauri and Nilanjan's age was already 21. Okay. Now I can do ink also. I can show you ink also. I can do the same thing. If age is in this list, if age is in this list, I can do uh, increment. Uh, Sorry, I have to do increment, but how do increment work? I think it is. Uh, hmm, if I want to increment age by 2, so I think I have to do increment. I can do age, and I can do dollar increment by 2. Either this is the right and maybe I can have 21 and what is the other age right now? 21 and 24 and 35. So I'll just do 24. If I do this, uh, so update requires autumn. So it should be increment age by 20. So I can just do increment age by 2. And now five people's ages increased by 2. So increment works like this and in works like this. Increment takes a uh, increment takes a field and increase it by 2. So if I now do find, I'm going to have Nitish, Harihar and Gauri. Their age was 21, now it is 23. And Avijit's age was 24, it is now 26. Okay? Is the increment making sense to everyone? Just like you have increments on your salary, this is an increment on your age. My age didn't change. Nilanjan's age is also changed. Nilanjan's age was, it is changed once. Here, 23 here. Nilanjan, here it was 21, it is 23. You have two ages. You have a dark age and a bright age. Double entry. Yes. Anyways. So update one and update many is clear. There are some options also you can use on updates. Uh, and there are a bunch of options. You can read about them. And again, the best way is to do it like this. Let me show it to you. So if I go to manual, I can have a CRUD operation, MongoDB CRUD operation. In this, there is update document. In update document, update method. Uh, and now I can close this. There are find one and replace, find one and update, and all these bulk edits. So I can come here. I can click on this function, update many, and I can ask very pointed questions about this. Uh, I can come to this, and what are the options I have in the update many method for document update in MongoDB. Now I can write it like this, and it will probably give me all the list of options that I have. Update many method is used to update multiple documents in MongoDB. This method takes two arguments. The filter specifies which document to update, and update document specifies update to be made. The update document can specify several options for updating: set, increment, multiply, and rename, uh, like this, unset, minimum. You can have max also. Min max also works very differently. Current date is there. There are a bunch of options. You can just read about them. Uh, Title of this to update title. Increment the page count field by 10 and set the last. So it gives you an example also. Okay. So that's how you can work with chat gpt to get the answers. And if you want a pinpointed answer, then you can work or you can get the pinpointed answer also. Okay. Anyways, you can read about it on your own. Screen is on Mongo campus. Oh, sorry for that. I'm going to show the screen now again. Just give me 1 second. Sorry for that. Actually, it's okay. I'll stop sharing and I'll share the whole screen. Sometimes I forget that I'm sharing part of the screen, and that is the problem I'm facing. I'm going to come here and I'm going to share the whole screen, and I'm going to close this, and I'm going to open the two windows. Okay, these are the two windows. Oh no, this one. Okay, come here, click on this. Yeah. So now, what are what are the what are the possible values for the option parameter for the update many function in MongoDB? If I do this, it will give me all the values I need. The update menu has an options parameter that can be used to specify following option. Upsert, there will be an upsert option. You can also have write concern. Uh, Now, if you have questions about any of these, you can ask that also. Uh, so this will give you an example also of update many. So you have upsert as true, right is majority, right concern is minority, coalition is local EU, EN, US, uh, and do not no, yeah. So I'll read it out for you. So I asked it, what are the possible values of option parameter for update many function in MongoDB? The update many method in MongoDB has an options parameter that can be used to specify following options. Upsert to set that if set to true, the method will create a new document. If no document match the filter, the default value is false. To write concern, this option specifies the level of acknowledgement requested from MongoDB for write option operation. The default value is W1, which means the write operation will acknowledge by primary server. If the primary server says yes, then MongoDB will say, yeah, I have returned it. But you can also describe write or write majority as majority, which means unless there is a majority of servers which are saying that it is a correct operation, the write will not go through. Collation will allow you to specify language specific rules. You can decide. We have discussed collation in the previous class a little bit. So, uh, is it making sense? How I'm writing it? I can go further. I can ask this. Can you explain uh, the collation option further? So now it is going to explain me the collation operation also. Sure. The collation operation option in MongoDB allows user to specify language-specific rules for string comparison in queries. This is useful when working with collation that contain string data in multiple languages. As it allows user to specify rules that should be used for comparing strings in given language. For example, consider the following documents in a collection. There are three documents with cafe written in three languages. These document contains string cafe in different languages, French, English. The letter E has a different collation used in each language. But by default, MongoDB will use a simple binary comparison to compare these strings, which means that a query from string cafe will only match the document with the same exact string. However, if we specify collation option as in US, then the query will use, oh sorry, there was a network error. But if I try again, it will come up again. So there is a network error. There are sometimes network errors in this. Yeah. So you see what you can do with ChatGPT. You can write specific questions and you can go deep into one of the options that you're talking about. Okay. Just keep the only thing you have to remember is to keep the documentation ready so that if it gives you a wrong answer, you have a way to check it. Okay. It will write the uh, whole document one more time. Uh, yeah. So now, if you have any doubt about any of these options, you can directly use uh, Chat GPT to get the answer. Okay, you can here they are defining collation as Spanish, and then uh, have a name field. Again, there's a network error which is happening on my computer. But anyways, I hope you got the idea. Okay, is this making sense? How you can get details about each of these options if you want. Let's go back to uh, let's go back to MongoDB Compass. Okay, so those were the options for update. Now let's do hmm, update operation is done. Let's do delete operation. Delete is if you have understood update, then delete is very simple. Just do db dot user dot delete. You can do delete many or you can delete one. I'm going to delete many. And now uh, I want to delete a user. Uh, I want to delete a user uh, whose age is, I can define it like this, nor, and then I can define it. It should be neither one of these ages. His age should be not, it should not be 23 and it should not be say 35. If age is not 23, 35 and 26, it will be deleted. 23, 25, 26 and 35. If age is not either one of these, then it will be deleted. Is this making sense? Is this operation making sense? Anyone whose age is not any one of these 26, 26, 23, and 35 will be deleted. So if I press enter, Nitish, is this making sense? Can you tell me who all will be deleted in this list? Who all will be deleted? Can you find the name of people? 35 is already there. 35 will not be deleted. Dipanshu. Only 30 will be deleted. And also this guy will be deleted. Avijit's this document will be deleted because 20 is not equal to 35. Yeah. This will also be deleted. 20 and 30. 20 in English language and this in Lanjan, which is in 30. 26 is already in the list. Yeah, that is not going to delete. Okay, so if I press enter, two things should be deleted. What is the problem? Clone, position, local position, line, column. I'm not able to read it. Let me reduce the font size. Hmm. Uh, it is not. I think this should work. What is the error it is saying? Count return position line. I'm not able to see that. I'm not able to understand the error. Let me see what is the error. Try is not in. I had not also. And not should not be. It should be not in. Yeah. It should not be. It should not be nor. Actually, it should be this one. Nor is for some other purpose. It should be not in and in. Okay. If I do this, now it will do. Is this problem? Uh, age not in. I think there is a. This one is there and this one. Okay, this one. Now it should work. Yeah, this one is correct. Not in should be there. Okay. And there was a curly braces which was missing, which was causing the problem. So it deleted two accounts, and if I just to find now those two accounts, which was 30 and 20, Avijit and Nilanjan are deleted. So Nin is not in. If the age is not in this list, it will be deleted. Any document whose age is not in this list will be deleted. Does that make sense? Not in. Joseph? Joseph, does that make sense? Not in. In this list 23, 26, and 35. If age is not in 26, 23, and 35, it will be deleted. This is what it is saying. Sure. So that's how you can delete. You can also use bunch of operations to delete. You can use bunch of options, and those are all intuitive. You don't have to worry about it much. If you understand few of them, you can work out most of the problems. You just have to do less than equal to, greater than equal to, less than, greater than. All those operations are there. There will be a list of operations. I can show it to you also. Uh, and if you just go whenever you want to write a filter, you can go over this list. Uh, just give me 1 second. I'll share the whole screen. Uh, there will be a list of operations in the references. There is the operator list. If I click on operator, this will hmm, come on. References, inside references, I have operator, inside operator, query and projection operators. And if I just click on this, I'll have bunch of operators equal to, greater than equal to, less than equal, in, not equal to, and, not, nor. You have elements, exist, type, you have expressions, you have all kinds of options. You can try to play around with these options. And whenever you find something difficult, what you can do is you can come here, and when you give an example of using dollar not in operator in, let me refresh it once. Yeah. um, can you give an example of using dollar not in operator for find function in MongoDB? If I do this, I'll give, it'll give me an, yeah, operator. It'll give an example of operator. So here, not in 20, 30, and 40. It will find users whose age is not in either one of these three values. Okay. So once you have this, you can again understand what not in is doing, and uh, and you can work around there. Okay. So all these options, whenever you have a doubt, you can just go to this, go to Chat GPT and ask it a doubt. Okay. Any doubts about this? You want to see that screen again? You want to see that one more time? Yeah, I'll show it to you. I'll just come here and click on this. So this is what it returns. It can return you examples of each of these options. So you can work out why they are working, how they are working, everything about those options you can work out from here. Okay. So that's ChatGPT. Very powerful. Awesome. So the last operator that why there was an error for NOR. There was an error for NOR because a NOR is an operator on logical conditions. Um, and there are two errors basically. First of all, NOR cannot be run on a list of data points. It should be run on a list of booleans. Okay. So NOR should be run on bunch of boolean operations, bunch of boolean expressions. First was that, and the second problem was there was a curly braces which was missing. Here there are two curly brackets that are here, but there is only one. So therefore, the NOR was giving two errors. Okay, I can show you how NOR operator works if you want. Let me see. If I want to use NOR operator, I'll have to give two expressions. So here I'll have to give uh, age dollar greater than 18, sorry, greater than 33, comma, uh, dollar less than, say, 36. Okay, this is going to select all the people, or maybe I can do it otherwise. Greater than 18 and less than 23. All the people whose age is greater than 18 and less than 23 will be selected. Now, this is a list of this. This is correct. This is correct. This is correct. If I click enter, uh, just give me 1 second. NOR has to go with some in system and not NOR. Okay, NOR has to go here. So just give me 1 second. Uh, I can do this like nor, and I can give age. Uh, age is 18, and name. So age is 23. His age is 23, and name is Nitish. Now what will happen is it will select all the people whose age is not equal to whose age is not 23 and whose name is not Nitish. Okay. Or I can do age is not equal to something else. So let's say age is not equal to 26 and name is not equal to Nitish. So now what will happen is I'll remove four people, but if you look at it, Nitish will not be deleted. Although his age was 23, Nitish is not deleted. Okay. So that's how a NOR operator will work. I can also write it. Nitish is not deleted because his name is Nitish. So although his age is 23, but since his name is Nitish, he is not deleted. Anyone whose age is yeah, whose age is 26 or whose name is Nitish will not be deleted. So as long as both the values are not present, they will be deleted. So everyone else was deleted from the list, which is problem because okay, anyways, I've shown you bunch of operators, so I think that's okay. Uh, there are more operations like expression, mod, regex, tax. All of these operations are there. So I can also have a regex operation. I'll give you an option example of regex. Find find name with a pattern, and the pattern is like this. Um, Avijit and then a star. Anything after Avi will work. So if I do, Avijit comes up. So you can have patterns also. You can have a regex where you can decide the pattern and that pattern will be searched in the database. I can also do it for Nitish. I can just do N and now Nitish will come up. Uh, why is Avijit coming up? Uh, and I, yeah. Why is for N alone? Why is Avijit coming? I'm not sure. Hmm. There's no N in Avijit. Why is Avijit coming when I'm doing this? If I do start, then oh, it's reading as new line. Okay, so I'll just do it. Yes. No, Nitish. Now it is coming. I don't know. I'm not sure about why it is giving uh, Avijit also when I'm writing N star. Nor is like A, nor A or B. Yes, that is true. Satya, that is true. Not A and not B. Try A. Let me try A also. Uh, also here also Nitish is coming. So I'm not sure. Hmm. Maybe it is taking some. If I do AV, of course Avijit is coming. But if I just do A, it is anyone can come. I'm not sure. You will have to read through the documentation to understand why that is happening. So you can read through the exact documentation for regex. The So I have a saying. There's a old man who once said that if you have a problem and you try to solve it using regex, then suddenly you have two problems. If you have a problem and you try to solve it using regex, then you have two problems. First, you have to understand regex, and then you have to understand your problem. So yeah. Anyways, regex is, it's okay. It's good for some things, but not always. It's like a Swiss Army knife. It's there for everything, but you want to use a specific tools for specific things. Now let's talk about uh, GeoJSON. So I want to play a game with you. Yeah, problem is equal to new problem. Uh, I want to play a game with you. Now I want you to give me uh, your like latitude and longitude information. So you can go to Google and you can get. I think there should be a service that can give you the latitude and longitude information. Um, get my latitude and longitude. If I do this, there's a get let long, and you can select a place. Let me select Bhopal. Mm, if I do this, I'm going to share my screen in just a second. Yeah. So what you can do is you can go to this website. Yeah, I'm going to share the screen. Stop sharing and share again. This time share the whole screen. Yeah. You can go to this website. You can just I just searched it online. You can go to this latlong.net, and then you can write the name of your place. It is going to give you a latitude and longitude. And I want you to write the latitude and longitude in the chat. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Satyendra. That is very kind of you. We can go to lat long and give me your latitude and longitude information. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some geotagging or GeoJSON based business for your latitude and longitude. Okay. So I'll just go back to MongoDB Compass, and yeah. So I'll just do insert many, and here I'm going to do name as Anshul, and I have my address. Address. This is how you can write a GeoJSON. Uh, this is how you can write a GeoJSON. Just give me 1 second. Oh, okay, I can do it here. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, okay. So this is how you can write GeoJSON in MongoDB. I'm going to write bunch of GeoJSON. The idea is first you write the type, which is in this case we have a type called point, and then we can specify the coordinates. And let's go over all the coordinates that are given. First coordinate is given by Likit. It is 17.708018, comma 83.302324. This is one. This is address of Likit. Okay, I'll save his name now. It's not my name. Let's give it as Likit. Likit. This is one address. Okay. Now I'll save another one of your address. So I'll just create a comma, enter. No. Okay, I'll have to do one more code. Anyways, I want to do it in multiple lines. I'm not able to do it in multiple lines, but okay. I'll add one more. Why do we need type? Because there can be different types of GeoJSON. Uh, there is no extra curly brace, or is there? No, there is no extra curly. Answer is for this, and this is for shift enter. Thank you, thank you. I'll click shift and enter. That is good. Now shift and enter, and I'll have name as another person. Let's say Vishnu. Vishnu and address. As again, type can be anything. Type can have few values. It can be it can be a circle, it can be a triangle, it can be a polygon. But we are typically talking about points because all of you are just coordinates and coordinates coordinates as it's user defined. No, it's not user defined. It's not user defined. Type is basically given by the GeoJSON. Point type means it's a single point on the map. Point type means that there can be a. I'll show you some more types in few minutes. There can also be a triangle type, and then I'll have to give a list of three coordinates. Okay, so that's what point is. Let me say Vishnu's latitude one minus 12.971599, and his longitude is this yeah minus. Like Vishnu, is this minus or it should be 12 only? Okay, you have given given. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Why is these value coming minus? There's no minus. So Vishnu's data is 77.594566. Okay, I'll add one more. What happened? Oh, I hate this. This is name colon Vishnu. I'll copy this. Control C. I just write it. Point. I'm going to explain what point is. Just give me a few minutes. I'll explain what point is. I'll give you an example and it will become clear. Coordinates. And let's the coordinates of Vishnu, which is 12.97. I'll just write it in short. And 7.59. Since I come out of this, I'm frustrated by this. Okay, I'm just going to add Likit right now, and then I'll add the next name later on. Like this and this. This is how Likit is added. Now I'll add Vishnu. Vishnu point, and I can just write here the location of Vishnu 12.97, 12.97. I will not write rest of the details. And 7.59, 77.59, 77. Enter. I've added two objects. Okay, so that's how we can add. Now what I can do is more interesting. This is simple. I can add one more point if you want. Let me add one more point, which is Hariharan. I'll add Hariharan. Hariharan. And our address is 13.08, 08, comma 80.27, 80.27 doesn't. Okay, I have added uh, three geolocations. Now I'll address what point means. Okay, so what is the point in geolocation? So point is the geolocation object type. There are different types of objects in geolocation. There is point, there is polygon, there is also multi-point, there is multi-line string, there is multi-polygon, there is geometry collection, there are all sorts of them. There is also triangle if you want. Okay. So there are different types of GeoJSON object types. Just like you have types in uh, just like you have types in data, so you can have int, float, and etc. etc. There are also GeoJSON objects which have different types. There can be a triangle on. So have you seen this on your map? When you write Bhopal, suddenly a whole polygon of Bhopal is shown instead of a single point. Have you ever seen that, Joseph? Do you want me to show it to you? Just give me 1 second. Let me show it to you. So if I just come here and I write Bhopal, I do this and I click on map, it will not give me a single point. It will give me a contour. Uh, this contour that you see here, if I can zoom a little, there's this contour. Can you see this contour outside Bhopal? This line. This is not a road. This is not a road that you are seeing here. This is a contour. Can you see that? Now that is a polygon. That's not a single point. Contour is basically a line parameter. This line here. I can zoom a little bit more. Can you see this line? This line here outside Bhopal. This is describing what is Bhopal. I can show it to you more clearly. If I just come back. Can you see this line here outside Bhopal? This is called as contour or a polygon that describes Bhopal. So it's not always the point that you have geolocation as as a single point. It can also be a polygon. It can also be a triangle. Uh, if you want to describe a small portion on land, it can also be a triangle. So when you're describing an area, it's not usually a point. It can be anything that you want. So that's what I was saying, that GeoJSON can store not only points, but it can also store other types of data instead of point. It can also store an area. Does that make sense, Joseph? Hello, Joseph. Does that make sense? Can you acknowledge once? I cannot see this hand. Who is raising hand? Can you just write yes if that makes sense, Joseph? We can replace point with polygon. Yes, you can replace point with polygon, and you have to give bunch of coordinates. You just don't give a single point of coordinate. Okay, you have to do multiple points here. Instead of having just 2 points, you'll have to give bunch of more points. So I can show you how polygon will be drawn. So uh, because polygon contains bunch more points than a single point, so name I can have a name called school, and this school is not a point. It will be a polygon because school is a building, so it will be a polygon. And its coordinates, let's have a school outside this, so its coordinates will look something like this, comma, and then comma, there will be another coordinate, then another coordinate, And now we can add some more coordinates. 12.08 comma 80.27, and then you can have, say, uh, these 2 points are on the line. So what I can do is I can shift it a little. So I can do 30.08 comma 90.27. Now we have a triangle. That's how you can save. That's how you can save a polygon instead of saving just a single point. Okay, that's what is a point and a GeoJSON is. Now the more important part is how to search on a GeoJSON. Okay, suppose you have a bunch of points that you have saved and you want to see which of them is nearer to a point, which of them is further from a point. We can do some operations there. So first let's do db dot user dot find, and I want to find all the locations. And uh, what am I going to find? I want to find address, which is dollar near, which is near, uh, and I can define a point, and I want to find all the locations which are near this. So it is near, and let me define a location. So I have to define that I'm talking about a point. So I again have to do type. This should be, if the query is point type, then DB has polygon point data mix, then it will search. Yeah, search will be still accurate. Search will still be accurate. You don't have to worry about that. So near, here you will have to do geometry colon, and now you have to give what you are talking about. So near geometry type is point, and coordinates. The coordinates that we are looking for are, let's give some latitude that we know, 13.06 comma 80.25. This is very near to Hariharan, and it is very near to school. I'll give this coordinate, type is point. I come out of this. And then after geometry, I also have to define the maximum distance in meters. So I can define that the max distance that I'm looking for is, say, 2 kilometers. And the min distance I'm not worrying about. Min distance can be anything. So this is type, then geometry, then near, then address. Address should be like this. Okay. So it will find all the points, all the areas which are nearer to this point within a distance of, say, 2 kilometers. So if I click enter, uh, error processing this tree, field address is near sphere. Uh, what is the problem? Okay, this requires an index. You also will need an index of this query. So you'll have to first create an index. Hmm. So just give me 1 second. Asian index. If query is one, okay. So now I'll just come here and do db dot user dot index, no, create index, and the index that I'm creating is on array, sorry, on address, and the index that I'm creating is 2D. I'm creating an index of type 2D on address. If I click this, it will fail. Test user. Okay, there are some users who don't have a address. So let me just do db.user.find. Who all user don't have address? The school have, uh, Hariharan has this, Vishnu has this, Likit and Nitish. Likit also have it. Nitish and Abhijit are not there. So I can do db.user.delete many, uh, and then I can do does not exist. Okay, so now I can just do address colon $exist as false. All the fields for which the address is not present, I want to delete them. I click that, and two of them are deleted. Now, if I go and create an index on address, build fail, collection test user. What is the error? What is the error? Um, if I just click on this, um, I just okay. Hmm. Okay, location array. So yeah, just give me 1 second. I can delete the school as well because the school is of not the same type as other points. So I'll remove its school because it is causing the problem. I'll just go here and delete many. I'll just come here and write main as a pattern of school and deleted four of them. Come on. I'll insert again. So this is Likit. Before Likit, I have inserted nothing. So I'll start from Likit. Let me see what is there in the table right now. db.user is nothing. So I'll just come here and insert four objects. Okay, first I'll insert Likit. Sorry. Hmm, Likit and Hariharan, and I'll insert some more. Likit, Hariharan, Abhijit. other points, maybe 27 and 80, 80. This comma should not be there. Hmm, this is a problem. 5 and this and another bracket. Now it should work. So I have inserted. Let me check what all users are there. So there is Abhijit, Likit, and Hariharan. So far, so good. Now what I need to do is I need to create an address index. Now I can create an address index. Let's call it 2D. See, 2D sphere. Will this work? Yeah. Now this is working. Now we got our address of 2D sphere. Now we can do a find operation on the address using near. I run this, it returned nothing because there was nothing. But if I put a point which was there, so let me put Avijit's location, which is 27.70, 708018 and 80.302324. If I enter this, Avijit's point is returned. Okay. So this is how you can use GeoJSON. There's some little bit of tinkering that is involved and you have to read the error messages, but you can work it out. So let me revise what I have done. So coordinates 26. If coordinate is 26, let's see if coordinate is 26, what will happen? Uh, yeah, it will return nothing because there is nothing nearby. If I use something like 13.8 and 80.27, let's see what I can get. What is 2D sphere? 2D sphere is basically a point. You can think of it as a point. 2D sphere, 2D on the sphere of Earth. What was the error before? Error before was that you have bunch of points along with a triangle. So you have bunch of points along with a polygon. You cannot create a index on it. So you want either all of them should be points or all of them should be polygons. Then only you can create an index. So that was the problem. Then it's just like storing two columns of coordinates. Yeah. Yeah, all should be similar. That is true. And that, sir, this is nothing but GeoJSON. Yes, that is true. This is GeoJSON, but you need exactly same GeoJSON. You don't need a list of coordinates. And if one of them is a single coordinate, then you want all of them to be single coordinates, Avijit. You cannot have a mixture of that. This is where this becomes a little strict. MongoDB and NoSQL databases become a little more strict when we are talking about primary key or the index. Other than that, everything is chilled out. But when we have indexes, it becomes a little bit more choosy. Okay. You spe- and yes, specialty of GeoJSON. Speciality of GeoJSON is you can do a bunch of operations that you typically do on global data. So if you want to find, for example, if you are implementing app similar to Uber app, suppose you are implementing an Uber app, then you can use GeoJSON type of tagging to get nearby drivers. You can get who is nearby. It is not giving nearby for 26. Uh, why is it not giving 26? Because it is the distance is max distance is, if I increase the max distance, so to say 20, to a larger number, it will give. So if I give max distance as instead of uh, 2 kilometers, if I give 2000 kilometers, 200 kilometers, it will give as the number. Yeah, okay, Avijit. If I give as 200 kilometers, it will give the answer. If I give 2000 kilometers, it should possibly probably give all the answers. It will give all three of them because they are still in proximity. So all of them are within 2000 kilometers of this data point. Okay, so that's how you can use GeoJSON. Now I will revise all the commands that I have discussed today because otherwise, okay, this also makes sense. Without revision, also it's okay. But if I just revise them once, they will become very clear in your mind. Okay, so CRUD operators we have discussed. We have first discussed db dot my collection dot insert. In insert, we have discussed insert many, and then you can give a uh, list of new uh, document one. You can do document two dot. This inserts many documents in my collection. And you also have one more, which is db dot my collection insert one, and here you can just give document. This inserts a document, a single document in the collection. Okay, this is one. After the insert, we have also seen db dot my collection dot find. This takes three options. First is filter. We have discussed a lot of filter options, and there are a bunch of more that you can explore on your own. Filter is there, then and there are options out there. There are some options you can use. This can read a bunch of documents from the collection. Then you have db dot my collection dot delete. Delete is also many. There's delete many, which takes a filter and say options. This will delete all the documents that match the filter. And you also have db dot my collection. It was update, I guess. Let me check what was the name of the function. It was probably update many update operators. Update many, yeah, update many. There's also update one, but I'm just writing update many. This takes a filter. Uh, it takes a filter and it takes the update that you want to do, and it has some options. Options and filters are typically common across all three of them: find, delete, and update. You can read about them, and then this will perform update on the field on on all the documents that match the field. There are also delete one and uh, then after this we also discussed GeoJSON. Uh, a typical GeoJSON field looks like. Typical GeoJSON field will look something like this. There will be a field name and colon. There will be a type. Type can be any of the GeoJSON types. GeoJSON type. And then you have coordinates. If you specify these two things, you can use there are bunch of operators. Okay, here are some operators you can use in filters. There are some operators, for example, less than or in filters and update. There is first, which is set. This is going to set a value for a field. You also have uh, other one in. This is going to search for a value in a list of options we have discussed. Abhijit, we have discussed options. I've not gotten into details of options, but I've discussed it passing remark. Like options can be some of the things you can do on top of filters, like what kind of write you want to do, what kind of read you want to do, and all those things are there in the options. Okay. Search for value in a list of values. There's also less than, which is less than, and so on. You can look for a list of operators. That's okay. And you can have coordinates, you can have GeoJSON type, and this is how a GeoJSON file look like. I'll give you an example also. Let me bring out an example. Uh, this is an example of inserting a polygon. How you can insert a polygon. So here is a polygon insert. For example, Control Shift C. This. How do I copy from here? If I click this, I'm not able to copy. Okay, I cannot copy. Let me try copying from here. Okay, I'll copy from here. Uh, what is user? I'll just first refresh this. Just give me a few minutes. I'm not able to copy in user. I'll go to this one and I'll copy it, and I'll just come back to my, and this is an example of GeoJSON. Okay. This is Likith whose addresses are GeoJSON. So uh, before searching for near a location, you uh, need to uh, create an index using the GeoJSON. Later you can do find using near operator. That's almost all the things I have discussed in today's class, and I hope now you have a good idea about uh, MongoDB, how different things in MongoDB work. In the next class, we are going to discuss about how to basically In the next class, we are going to discuss about how you can create. Just give me 1 second. How you can create uh, uh, data models in MongoDB. How we can access this file? Can you share GitHub link? I have shared that. When to use 2D in query? Yeah, I have pushed the changes. I am going to share the file. Just give me 1 second. Uh, I'm going to share the GitHub link. When to use 2D in query? I'm not sure about that, Abhijit. Sometimes when you have 2D data, you can use. Yeah. I'm not sure. I mean, it was giving an error. So I was thinking that I can use 2D, but it was giving an error. So I have to use 2D sphere. Yeah. Maybe when you have polygon, you can use 2D instead of 2D sphere. Yeah. I have shared the GitHub link with you, Nayan. You can check out the file from there. Anything else? Anything else that you want to? Thanks. Okay. Please. I've pushed the changes on the GitHub. You can check it out. Yeah. Okay, students. That's it for today. Good night, everyone. Have a nice time. See you on Friday. Bye. Thanks. Good night.